Okay, this is Harold's Prog Rock Show part 43, entirely dedicated to Asia, the famous English prog rock band, the supergroup. The first album is from 1981, sorry. It's simply titled Asia. In this supergroup we have John Wetton on bass and vocals, the late John Wetton, who passed away a few years ago. Carl Palmer on drums from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Steve Howe on guitar from Yes, and Jeff Downes on keyboards from the Buggles and Yes. John Wetton played in King Crimson, Roxy Music and UK. Okay, this is a real supergroup. You see the first album. In America, it was the best sold album from that year. Worldwide, more than 5 million copies sold, so it was a great success. On this album, we have the hit single Heat of the Moment, and the other songs are Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor, One Step Closer, Time Again, Wildest Dreams, Without You, Cutting It Fine, and Here Comes the Feeling. It's a great album, it's a real classic, all songs are good, it's really great. You have to listen to this one. It's fantastic, it's a classic. Okay, the first album. Then we have the second album, Alpha, and it's also a really good album. On this album we have again Steve Howe, Jeff Downes, Carl Palmer and John Wetton. It's recorded at Le Studio in Quebec and in Toronto at the Manta Sound. The album was produced by Mike Stone. The artwork is from Roger Dean, who was famous in the 70s with Yes and Uriah Heep. But this Asia artwork and logo is done by Roger Dean. Also, the first album is done by Roger Dean, and the third album, Astra, which I'll show in a minute. On this album we have Don't Cry, The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Never in a Million Years, My Own Time, I'll Do What I Want, The Heat Goes On, Eye to Eye, The Last to Know, True Colors, Midnight Sun, and Open Your Eyes, which is a very bombastic song. The hit single of the album is Don't Cry. I can recommend this one. The second one, Alpha. Then we have the third one, Astra. Astra is also a really good album. On this album, Steve Howe has left the band. We have a new guitar player. He's called Mandy Meyer. And here we see the guys in the band. Mandy Meyer on guitar. On this one we have Go, Voice of America, Hard on Me, Wishing, Rock and Roll Dream. Rock and Roll Dream is really great. It's a very bombastic song with an orchestra. Countdown to Zero, Love Now Till Eternity, Too Late, Suspicion, and After the War. It's a very good album. I like it. The song Go is the hit single, and it starts with the church organ. Artwork again by Roger Dean. There's also a nice video from Go, a clip, and then you see the lady who's in front, the robot lady. It's great to see that video. Then we have The Very Best of Asia. It's of course a compilation. On this one we have the B-side Ride Easy. It's a very good song. And two other B-sides on this compilation. So 3 new songs on this album, The Very Best of Asia. Okay, then we have Aqua. The artwork is done by Rodney Matthews, and John Wetton has left the band, so we have a new singer bass player. He's called John Payne. On guitar we have Al Pitrelli, lead and rhythm guitars. Steve Howe is also on this one, Carl Palmer on drums, and Jeff Downes on keyboards. It's a reasonable album, and the artwork is fantastic. I've seen this tour in, you see my t-shirt, I've seen this tour in 1992 in Tilburg in the Netherlands. That's in the south of the Netherlands. And I have seen that show with Jeff Downes, Carl Palmer, Steve Howe, and the new vocalist John Payne. Okay. Nice concert. At the end of the show, I shake hands with Jeff Downes. Okay, this is Asia Phonics. Phonics. That's the comeback album. On this one, we have Steve Howe, Carl Palmer, John Wetton, and Jeff Downes. So that's the original lineup coming back. They made an album called Phoenix, and the first song, Never Again, is really great, and the rest of the album is interesting. I've seen this tour. They played at the 013 in Tilburg in the south of the Netherlands, and the show from 1992 was at the old venue Noorderlicht also in Tilburg. Okay, I've seen this show in the Netherlands, in Tilburg, in the 013. There's a DVD from this one. It's called Fantasia, live in Tokyo, and it's really great. All old songs are on it. It's a great show. I like it. A great live concert. I can recommend Fantasia live in Tokyo. It's really great. Then we have two old video cassettes. This one is called Asia and Asia. It's from 1983, and Greg Lake from Emerson, Lake and Palmer is singing and playing bass. And among in the band are, of course, Jeff Downes on keyboards, Steve Howe on guitar, and Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer on drums. It's a great video cassette. Last month it has been released on DVD, so you can buy it on DVD. It's a great concert from the tour from the second album, Alpha. Here you see the lineup, including Greg Lake on vocals and bass from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay, then we have another old video cassette from 1991. It's recorded in Nottingham in England, and on this one we have John Wetton, Carl Palmer, Jeff Downes, and Pat Thrall on lead guitar. Pat Thrall on lead guitar. It's a good show. Then I have two books. A Dutch book called Closer to Asia. It's a black and white book from 1993. From Simfestian. It's completely black and white. Closer to Asia. Interesting book. Then I have Heat of the Moment. It's a book from David Gallant. That's the writer. It's a nice one. It has been released during the comeback album, Phoenix. And it's from 2007. And there are some color pictures inside. I will show you. The old lineup, very good, very nice. And you see Steve Howe, Jeff Downes, John Wetton and Carl Palmer. Great pictures. Then we have some live pictures from the old days and from 10 years ago with the reunion. It's a real supergroup, Asia. It's a very interesting book. I can recommend this one. Heat of the Moment, Asia, David Gallant, the writer of the book. It's completely in English, of course. Okay, then the final collection. The first album, a great success. Asia, the first one. with Roger Dean artwork. It's a real classic. I can recommend this one. It's really great. It's fantastic. It's sensational. I've listened a lot of times to that album. Here we have the inner sleeve with John Wetton and Carl Palmer. And then we turn around and we see Steve Howe and Jeff Downes. Okay, that's the inner sleeve from the Asia album, the first one, with hit single Heat of the Moment. Then we have the second album, also artwork Roger Dean, Alpha. Okay, Alpha, good album, interesting. The inner sleeve with pictures from the guys in the band. Great to see those black and white pictures. Then we have the third album, Astra, with the robot girl on the cover. And we see some pictures from the guys in the band. John Wetton, Jeff Downes, Carl Palmer, Mandy Meyer on guitar. And that's a compilation album, Then and Now, with the artwork from the first 3 albums. And the Flying Horse, great stuff. Okay, that's a compilation album. Okay, that was my show about Asia, the famous English supergroup, the prog rock group. This is Harold's Prog Rock Show part 43. This is the end of the show. I hope you like the show and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'll see you next time. Then with my glasses. They are in the repair shop. Okay, thank you. Bye. See you next time.